Welcome to Anti-Money Laundering Academy. Today we will explore a critical topic. Understanding the economic and social consequences of money laundering and anti-money laundering accountability. What is money laundering? Money laundering refers to the process of making illegally gained proceeds appear legitimate. It is a global issue affecting every country, from developing nations to financial hubs. No country is immune. This practice not only harms economies but also erodes social trust, perpetuates organized crime, and undermines the integrity of financial systems. In this video, we will examine the profound economic and social consequences of money laundering. We will also discuss how international regulations and guidelines like those from the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, and the Basel Committee mitigate these effects. Additionally, we will go into real-life case studies that highlight the importance of anti-money laundering regulations and individual accountability within financial institutions.
Economic distortion and instability. Money laundering can severely distort a country's economy by disrupting the normal flow of capital and corrupting legitimate businesses. Laundered funds can artificially inflate sectors such as real estate, creating economic bubbles. When those bubbles burst, they leave local economies in financial disarray. Real-life example: the 2008 global financial crisis. During the lead-up to the 2008 financial crisis, numerous banks were found to have weak AML controls. For example, Wachovia, one of the largest US banks, was implicated in laundering $378.4 billion in drug money between 2004 and 2007. This negligence contributed to broader economic instability and deepened the global financial crisis.
Beyond economic effects, money laundering also brings severe social consequences.
Facilitating organized crime and corruption. Money laundering fuels organized crime by giving criminal enterprises a method to legitimize their illicit gains. When criminals successfully launder money, they reinvest it in further illegal activities like drug trafficking, human smuggling, and arms dealing. This harms individuals and undermines trust in law enforcement.
Real-life example: the Russian laundromat. Between 2010 and 2014, a massive money laundering scheme known as the Russian laundromat funneled $80 billion out of Russia and into global financial systems. The scheme allowed criminal organizations to launder illicit funds through over 96 countries, severely damaging economies, facilitating corruption and undermining trust in public institutions.
Social costs and reputational damage. A country that becomes known as a haven for money laundering faces severe social costs. Corruption, inequality, and violence tend to rise in environments where illicit money flows freely. The long-term reputational damage can deter foreign investments and international partnerships.
Real-life example: Panama Papers scandal. The Panama Papers leak in 2016 exposed how wealthy individuals and corporations used Panama's lax financial regulations to hide wealth and launder money. As a result, Panama faced international sanctions, reputation loss, and significant damage to its financial services industry.
Combating money laundering requires a multifaceted approach involving governments, financial institutions, and individuals. The importance of regulatory compliance. International bodies like the FATF and Basel Committee have established guidelines to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. These regulations stress the need for financial institutions to implement robust compliance programs and risk management models. Individual accountability for corporate wrongdoing. Anti-money laundering regulations hold individuals accountable for compliance failures. When senior management fails to uphold these standards, they face personal, legal, and financial consequences. Key regulatory frameworks, such as the US Yates Memo and the UK's Senior Managers and Certification Regime, SMNCR, stress the importance of individual responsibility. Real-life example: HSBC AML scandal. 2012. In 2012, HSBC was fined $1.9 billion for enabling Mexican drug cartels to launder $881 million through its operations. Though no executives went to jail, this case increased global focus on individual accountability in financial institutions and led to stricter AML regulations like the Yates Memo.
Key takeaways. The importance of individual accountability in the fight against money laundering cannot be overstated. Number 1, money laundering distorts economies, facilitates organized crime, and fosters corruption. Number 2, anti-money laundering compliance is essential for maintaining the integrity of financial markets and preventing economic instability. Number 3, collaboration between governments, financial institutions, and the private sector is critical in the fight against money laundering. Number 4, individual accountability within organizations plays a vital role in ensuring effective anti-money laundering compliance, with real-world consequences for failing to adhere to these standards. By implementing strong AML measures, countries can safeguard their economies, maintain public trust, and prevent criminal organizations from exploiting financial systems.
The hidden costs of money laundering are far too high to ignore. From fueling organized crime to destabilizing economies, its consequences are deeply felt by individuals, communities, and entire nations. From fueling organized crime to undermining global stability, the consequences of this illicit trade are felt by individuals, communities, and nations worldwide. However, the fight against the money laundering is not insurmountable.
By strengthening regulations, fostering a culture of compliance, and harnessing the power of technology, we can create a world where criminals have nowhere to hide their ill-gotten gains. Imagine a world where financial systems are free from dirty money, where governments have the resources to invest in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, and where communities are safe from the grip of organized crime. This is the world we must strive to create. The fight against money laundering requires collective action. Governments, financial institutions, and individuals must stand together to protect the integrity of global financial systems and safeguard our shared future.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on anti-money laundering practices.